This is the Wrestling Old Head. You have entered the portal of pro wrestling.
What the world is watching.
You know, after tonight, I really feel that the creative team in the WWE, they get around and they talk about what direction they should go next. And they talk about all of the different variables, all the different potential directions that they can go down pertaining to which story beat they should hit upon next. And then there are a few people that think outside of the box and they mention a few things and they go, well, what if we go down this direction? What if instead of going here, which for the last 5 decades, we've gone here? What if instead of going here, we go down here and down that road? And after 5 decades or so, give or take, right? Somebody in that creative room said, yeah, let's check it out. Yeah, let's try it. And that's exactly what I got. That's exactly the feeling that I got when John Cena came out in his regular wrestling gear. The same wrestling gear he has been wearing since becoming babyface. A comment that he mentioned, that he's not a babyface, that he's not a heel. Well, he came out in the same gear with the same music. He didn't run around. He didn't take his hat and throw it into the crowd. No. He looked very much business, all business. But it went against everything that I thought what we were going to see when I had envisioned what was going to happen when Raw opened up in Belgium, in Brussels, this past Monday. What I thought that I was going to be seeing, and I did a video on it. I extensively talked about where I felt they should go with this new John Cena character, because I was worried that especially the crowd in Europe, that they would be interested in cheering for John Cena, specifically because WWE hasn't gone to Brussels in a long time, and they've never had a televised event there. And that this would potentially be the last time that they saw John Cena live and in person in a WWE ring. So I thought, how were they going to get the crowd to not reminisce, to not, based purely off nostalgia, based off of their entire childhood, want to cheer for John Cena, at least for a little bit? And then I thought about the promo battle, about Cody Rhodes standing aside or across from John Cena and how that would come across. They answered all of those questions and then some by having John Cena come out and break up with the WWE Universe. In my head, I thought John Cena would have done a via satellite promo from the set of his movie. Sorry, I couldn't be there. I thought John Cena would come out in a suit, dark shades, hair slicked back, new music, something with an orchestra, something with a different swag. We didn't get any of that. I thought we would have got The Rock coming out with the final boss music and John Cena behind him walking stoically to the ring. We got none of that. Everything that I thought, based on the way that I have seen baby faces come out as the new cool heel. But in 2025, and this is true, the cool heel is essentially a new baby face. The quote unquote baby face will get booed. And the cool heel will be one of the most over faces in professional wrestling. So they had to do something. They had to go against the grain. And I remember reading an article from an interview for Cody Rhodes where he said, like, people really are excited about the potential of me becoming a heel, but you have to understand, in today's day and age, in order to become a heel, you've got to go scorch earth. And that's what I got from Cena's promo. It was long-winded, but he essentially went from "you can't see me" to "you can't be me." And Cena gave us a layer. Only one layer of why he did what he did. He didn't touch upon the fact of why he sided with The Rock. He didn't talk about capturing his 17th world title. None of that was discussed. This was a dumping. And he dumped the WWE Universe. 33 days away from WrestleMania, and Cena came out to be crucified by the WWE Universe. And he proceeded to break up with us. It was an interesting and fitting way for Cena to come out and discuss why he did what he did, why he turned his back on the fans by pitting it against them. I'm still me. I've always been me, but for 25 years, you guys have been, what do you got? What do you got? What do you got? Give me more. Give me more. It was great stuff. And the reason why it was great stuff is that he did something that we didn't expect, just like how he turned. We all theorized, all of us, anybody in the wrestling spaces, they all thought about different ways that John Cena could do this and go about doing that if he were to turn heel. We all had this vision, and he just took all of these ideas that we had and crumpled them up and tossed them aside. And he said, no, I'm going to do something different, something outside of the box. And it's really refreshing because, you know, for somebody like me, like I said, I've been watching wrestling since the 80s. You know what Hulk Hogan did when he turned on the WWE fan, or on the WCW fans rather, the Hulkamaniacs. He told them all to stick it. And he started wearing black and dyeing his hair and coming out to Jimi Hendrix with Dennis Rodman and, you know, all of these things, just completely different. Air guitaring with his black leather belt. John Cena didn't need to do any of that to get the point across that he is a different person. And Cody Rhodes coming out and calling him a whiny bitch was great. Because the crowd, after John Cena sat there for 25 minutes berating the WWE Universe, pointing out all of their flaws, pointing to the children in the crowd, it was amazing to get the crowd to yearn for their hero, for Cody Rhodes, and then for Cena to call him just another toy that is going to come out here, another puppet that's going to dance for the crowd. It's a great take on the I'm tired because the crowd turned on me type of a heel that we've seen a few times before. One that really springs to mind is Kurt Angle, where he came out and said you would rather cheer pimps and hoes than an Olympic gold medalist. How dare you? Another one was Batista in 2014. Batista came out as a, you know, and came back to professional wrestling, and the crowd shit all over him, and they cheered for Daniel Bryan, right? That was justified. He said it was like you guys turned on me. Randy Savage on Hulk Hogan, like every time he turned on him, he blamed the crowd. Daniel Bryan even had a good heel turn where he blamed the crowd. So it's an interesting dynamic. I think CM Punk had another one as well. CM Punk had one. Bret Hart's is another one that springs to mind with the American crowd turning on him because he was pro Canada. That's another good one. So there have been iterations of the face turning heel and blaming the crowd, but the way that John Cena did it was in a completely different way. It was a way in which he was seemingly like talking about their relationship and breaking up as if they were like a girl or a boyfriend. And Cody saying like, come on, man, this isn't it. This isn't the John Cena that I want. And that leads to an explosive potential from John Cena, just like Bob Backlund in the mid 90s, where Bob Backlund finally snapped. The crowd was booing him, people were booing him, and you can see like the wheels in his head spinning, and eventually he started attacking everybody. He attacked a journalist and gave him the crossface chicken wing, and then he would stop for a second and he would look at his hands like, what have I done? And then he would go to the back. I mean, Bob Backlund was certifiably insane, but the point of bringing him up is that John Cena is being pushed to the brink here. He's losing it. He's snapping on the WWE universe. Cody Rhodes is saying like, I don't want this John Cena, but he doesn't know which John Cena he's getting, because John Cena is coming out in his same regalia, his same costume. So we really don't know what John Cena that we're about to get, and that is the fascinating part. We're still left with question marks above our heads in clouds or in boxes like Super Mario style, you know? And I think that wherever they go now can be, you know, John Cena really snapping, because he snapped when he attacked Cody Rhodes. That was a vicious John Cena accompanied by a vicious Travis Scott and The Rock, but that was a vicious John Cena that we had seen. We still haven't seen smiley John Cena since that moment when he came out to his music with his costume on, you know, the colorful get up and the jorts. Like, that wasn't John Cena. He was angry, and he walked to the ring. He didn't run to the ring. He wasn't jovial. So what is behind those eyes now is going to be interesting, because I think we've got a rough and rugged John Cena ahead of us. And I'm very excited to see where they go with this John Cena. Could be very intriguing, because it's totally, like I said, totally different John Cena. So going into the WrestleMania season, they're keeping us on our toes still. This has been an interesting buildup, because they were very, very slow to get to this point where John Cena came out and cut this promo, but it was well worth it. And I am thankful that they didn't do something like having him come out via satellite, because that is something that is sort of predictable. So I put that out there in the universe, not to think that I was like predicting some sort of a play there for a heel turn or anything, it's just something, as somebody that grew up watching professional wrestling, it just felt like the right thing to do. But now watching this play out, this feels like the right thing to do for someone like John Cena. You don't turn away his values and his principles and everything like that. You turn it upside down, and he blames the crowd and their lack of values and their lack of principles. And I love that. And I think I'm excited about where they go with that going forward. And instead of Cody pleading with John Cena to be the Cena of old, instead he's passive aggressively telling him, this ain't it, dog. This ain't what it's about. You being a bitch right now, dog. So I like that too. So I'm very interested to see where they go from that going forward. The interactions are going to be intriguing for me. And they're in Europe for a few more weeks, so there's going to be a lot going on with that. I know we're probably due for a couple of more interactions between Cena and Cody Rhodes up until then. I wonder if we get another John Cena snap. And there's also going to be a moment where definitely we should see Cody Rhodes come to the aid of somebody. So I would expect John Cena and R-Truth. I would expect John Cena and The Miz, some things like that, some interactions like that. Miz wants to get down to the facts and figure out what's going on, because Cody's already beat his ass. Might as well have John Cena beat his ass as well. But it'll be a different ass beating, and maybe R-Truth is involved in that. So I'm fascinated by where they go with this. I'm just spitballing ideas right now, but I'm going to leave you guys with this idea. Like, overall, the whole promo, I thought it was really well done. It was very long, but John Cena, for 25 minutes, he held the crowd in the palm of their hands, which is what very few people can do. We did not see dangerous John Cena, but we saw a glimpse of a more cerebral, angry John Cena, and I'm fascinated by where they go with from there. But what did you guys think of the promo overall? The crowd in Brussels overall, what did you guys think of them? And where do you think John Cena is going next with this program with Cody Rhodes? You guys let me know in the comments. You have entered the portal of pro wrestling. This is the Wrestling Old Head. Stay tuned for more.